Andrew Tucker, and welcome to Andrew Tucker World. What's going on, all my great people? What's going on, all my boxing fans? Man, breaking news. Kambosos says, this is coming from the new unified lightweight champion, George Kambosos Jr. This is coming from the new champ, unified lightweight world champion, the new and still undefeated, and the new unified lightweight world champion, George Kambosos Jr. Like, listen, this is breaking news. This is breaking news. See, I love this kid. I love George Kambosos Jr. Willing to fight the best. Willing to fight the best. Calling out the best. Willing to fight the best. Willing to step in the ring with the best. Willing to prove himself. Willing to prove himself. Because he believes that he is that good. He believes that he is that great. It was an epic battle between him and Teofimo Lopez. I had it 8 rounds to 4 for George Kambosos Jr. It was a war. It was a battle. But he clearly won the fight 8 rounds to 4. They had a split decision, but I had a unanimous decision. A unanimous decision for George Kambosos Jr. Now, this is the breaking news. George Kambosos Jr. says, Haney versus JoJo Diaz Jr. Devin Haney versus JoJo Diaz Jr. winner must face him in Australia. Now, we know fighters have been calling them out. You know, fighters want to fight him. They of course, they're congratulating him on his victory, on his win. They said the win was very impressive, a very impressive win, a very good win against the young, undefeated, former unified lightweight champion Teofimo Lopez. They said it was a great victory. It was a great win for George Kambosos Jr. You know, fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and I believe others. You know, and George Kambosos Jr. is a warrior, gladiator, great fighter, very fundamentally sound, very skilled, has that dog inside him, the ferociousness. They call him the ferocious. You know what I'm saying? The ferociousness, the explosiveness, he's so effective, so accurate, so effective. A very good inside fighter, outside fighter, a boxer, puncher, a technician. Very fundamentally sound. He was able to outbox Teofimo Lopez in a great epic battle. You know, respect to both fighters, but you gotta show love and you gotta respect the new champ. A lot of people didn't expect him to win. A lot of people, you know, of course, Teofimo was the favorite going in. A lot of people felt he didn't have a chance. A lot of people felt he was going to get knocked out in the first round, the second round, the third round, or wasn't going to even make it past 4 rounds. But he won the fight, and you got to congratulate him. You got to acknowledge that he is now the top dog at lightweight, one of the best fighters in the lightweight division. Now, he said he wants to fight Devin, the winner of Devin Haney and JoJo Diaz Jr. He wants the winner, and he said the winner must face him in Australia. I would love for him to go back to, I believe, in Australia. He's from Sydney, Australia. Go back to his country. Go back to his country and fight, you know, which is in Australia, Sydney, the city, you know. Now, the thing is, he wants to go back to fight, and guess what? He is now the man in charge, so he's calling the shots. So yes, if he says he wants to fight, if they want to fight him, the winner of that fight wants to fight him. You know what I mean? If they really want to fight him, they gotta come to Australia. They gotta come to Australia to fight the young Australian star. The young Australian star. The young Australian unified lightweight champion. They gotta go back to Australia to fight the champ. You know what I'm saying? Because he is the champ. You know what I mean? And man, that was a great epic battle last night. It was an epic fight, an epic battle, and he was clearly the winner by unanimous decision. Kambosos says Haney versus JoJo Diaz Jr. winner must face him in Australia. Newly crowned IBF, WBA, WBC Franchise and WBO lightweight champion George Kambosos Jr. is now calling the shots, telling the winner this is coming from George Kambosos Jr. telling the winner of the December 4th fight between WBC 135-pound champion Devin Haney and JoJo Diaz Jr. that they must come to Australia if they want a chance to fight for his 4 titles. So let me repeat that in case you guys missed that, because the champ is calling the shots. You know what I'm saying? The champ is calling the shots. The newly crowned IBF, WBA, and WBC franchise and WBO lightweight champion George Kambosos Jr. is now calling the shots, telling the winner of the December 4th fight between WBC 135-pound champion Devin Haney and JoJo Diaz Jr. that they must come to Australia if they want a chance to fight for his 4 titles. Now, a fight in Australia, that's big. You know what I mean? I know he has a lot of people. It's going to be a lot of people come to see him fight. You know, a lot of people are going to come to see him fight. You know, and I know he's a star. I believe he's a star in Australia. You know, and he's the champion. He's calling the shot. Kambosos, 20-0, 10 KOs, finds himself in the position as the 800-pound gorilla. Kambosos, 20-0, 10 KOs, find himself in the position as the 800-pound gorilla to call the shots after his 12-round split decision win over previously unbeaten, undisputed lightweight champion Teofimo Lopez, who is now 16-1, 12 KOs. Last Saturday night at Madison Square Garden in New York City, having 4 titles all of a sudden gives Kambosos instant credibility that wasn't previously there for him before he won over Teofimo Lopez. Yes, because Teofimo was the betting favorite. You know what I'm saying? And if you go back and you look at the odds, man, it was a small percentage. They were not expecting George Kambosos Jr. to win this fight. You know, they was not expecting him to win this fight. They didn't think he even had a chance to win. A lot of people said knockout. Teofimo Lopez knockout. Even though he knocked out George Kambosos Jr. and came close to stopping him, George Kambosos Jr. knocked him down and basically outboxed him in the majority of the rounds. Like I said, 8 rounds to 4. You know what I mean? It was a great fight. George Kambosos Jr. most definitely won the fight. People said it was a draw. Don't agree with it. People said it was 7-5. I can't argue with that. People saying 9-3. I can't argue with that. People saying Teofimo Lopez Jr. won the fight. You're not being real with yourself. You're not keeping it real. Maybe you need 20/20 vision. Maybe you need glasses, because maybe you don't have 20/20 vision. If you was watching the same fight I was watching, you clearly saw this man lose the fight. But much respect to Teofimo Lopez. I love the kid. I love George Kambosos Jr. They both are great fighters. But George Kambosos Jr. clearly won that fight, and now he wants the winner. And he said if those guys want to face him, which we know Devin Haney is calling him out, Devin Haney really wants to fight him, but he got to focus on his fight with JoJo Diaz Jr. because JoJo Diaz is not an easy fight for Devin Haney. I'm just going to keep it real. You know, it's not an easy fight. He's an experienced veteran. Trust me, he's a champion. He was a former champion, and he's not playing around. You know, he's coming to fight. You know what I'm saying? JoJo Diaz is a veteran, a dangerous boxer puncher, good inside fighter. He's very explosive. He's very explosive. He has the ferociousness. He has the grit, the toughness, and he has the ability to make the adjustments and walk you down. But against a very skilled, fundamentally sound, more of a pure boxer in Devin Haney. You know what I mean? It's going to be a great fight. You know, it can be an upset in that fight, but I see Devin Haney winning the fight. It could be close, but I got it a unanimous decision for Devin Haney. But I would not be surprised if JoJo Diaz was to pull it out. I mean, just the experience, just the guys he's been in the ring with, and so it's going to be a great battle. It's going to be a great fight. I just feel that if Devin Haney sticks to the game plan and come in there come in there being smart, not making no type of mistake, go in there, not slightly outboxing JoJo Diaz. You know, working off the jab, you know, sticking and moving and boom boom countering, you know, being smart, you know, and I just but it's a great fight though. You know what I'm saying? But the winner of JoJo Diaz and Devin Haney has a chance now to fight for 4 titles. You know what I'm saying? The winner of that fight, you know, wins the WBC lightweight championship, and that winner, you know, and whoever wins the belt, I'm sorry, if JoJo Diaz is able to win the belt off of Devin Haney, who is WBC champion, lightweight champion, or if Devin Haney defeats JoJo Diaz, Devin Haney now has the opportunity, because the unified champ is calling for the winner. So Devin Haney would now have a chance to face the winner. Devin Haney would now have a chance to fight for all 4 titles that is held by George Kambosos Jr. Which we really look at the 4 major titles, right? We really look at the 4 major titles, which the winner of that fight of a Devin Haney and George Kambosos Jr. will become undisputed. Will be 135-pound undisputed lightweight champion. You know what I'm saying? So that's a fight I really would love to see. If it's JoJo Diaz, I would love to see it, because when you look at the JoJo Diaz style versus a George Kambosos Jr. style, you get a war. You're going to get an epic battle. 2 fighters that's going to stand right there and fight, but you know they can be outside fighters at times. They are boxer punchers, but these guys wouldn't mind staying right there in the pocket and bang it out and fight right there on the inside and just make it a war. You know, it'll be a little bit more of an exciting fight between the two, of a JoJo Diaz and a George Kambosos Jr. But it's also a great fight between George Kambosos Jr. when you look at 2 technicians and 2 guys that are good boxers. You know, so when you look at Devin Haney, more of the pure boxer, outside fighter. He's somewhat of an inside fighter, but it's more of a outside fighter, pure boxer. You know what I'm saying? Versus a George Kambosos Jr. style. You know what I mean? Stylistically, it's a great fight. You know what I mean? That's a great fight as well. So at the end of the day, man, listen, this is breaking news. This is big, and listen, if it's Devin Haney versus George Kambosos Jr. for undisputed, I would love it. I would love to see it. If it's JoJo Diaz versus George Kambosos Jr., I would love to see it. Any way it goes, I would love to see those fights. But it's breaking news. Andrew Tucker, more live streams is coming, more videos is coming. Love you guys, much love and respect, and I'm out.